what's up, everyone? So today I have a story on bullying, and it's going to have a lot of variables behind it, and it's going to make a little more sense after I tell the story. So anyway, I had a client that I was training. I'd been training him for a little bit in mixed martial arts, boxing, and in weightlifting, just the basic training for this individual. And a guy had offered to spar with him. Now, I knew the guy had come to the gym a couple times. I'd never seen the guy spar before. And I asked him if he knows how to spar light. And the guy said that he did. So I let him spar my client. And I literally only let him spar him for probably 30 seconds because he was trying to rip his head off. And he caught him with a good punch too. Was not a big fan of that. So I stopped the sparring. The guy's like, "Why'd you stop it?" And I told him, "You're sparring way too hard for my client. He's not a fighter. He's not a professional at this. And you're going to kill him. You're trying to hurt this kid. And that's not cool to me." So I stopped the session. And I thought about it afterwards. I was really pissed off. I'm going to be honest. I was pissed off at that moment. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about it, right? So I'm thinking about it. And the next day rolls around and I'm like, do I spar this kid like to teach him a lesson, or do I let it go? So I end up sparring him, right? So I asked him, I'm like, "Hey, you want to spar with me?" And he said, "Absolutely." So I was even better. So we end up sparring, and it's going to sound bad, but I beat him up pretty good. But I didn't beat him up. He really beat himself up. Like, the aggression this guy had, it was the same type of aggression. He was coming to try and kill me. Unfortunately, I'm a professional fighter, so I was able to counter all of his shots and hurt him with his own aggression. And he's bleeding everywhere. There's just blood all over the ring. And so I go up to the kid and I'm like, "Dude, like, why are you so angry?" And he has this big, elaborate, "You'd be angry too if your dad was on drugs, beating his mom, making my brother do bad things." And just, he was going off on some really personal stuff. And that kind of shocked me. And so I told him, I'm like, "Man, that sounds like you need professional help. It sounds like you need a therapist." And I go, "And I'll be willing to train you as well. You know, like, I'm sorry to hear all of those things have happened to you, but you can't hold onto that stuff and hurt other people because you're holding onto that stuff." So I ended up training the kid, and he did end up getting therapy too. So respect to him on that. And everything got much better, honestly. We're still friends to this day. He actually moved out of the state, but he did Facebook me, and he told me everything's going great for him in life. And he told me if I didn't say something, he thinks he'd probably still be in the place that he was, because no one would ever say anything to him. People knew he had these anger problems. People knew he had this about him, but no one ever told him that he needed to get the help that he needed to get. And so when it comes to situations like this, there's so many things and so many variables going on, because I could have just beat him up and just left it alone. Or if I wasn't a fighter, he might have just beaten me up and it would have just been more of the same. It could have been so many different little things. And the reason I say this is because bullying is not an easy solution. It never is. I know bullying is incorrect, but I think bullying is really just more darkness. And so you can't fight darkness with more darkness. It never works. The fact that that kid got help was not from me beating him up, but it was from me guiding him to where he needed to go. But I did need to have the strength to stand up for myself too. Because like I said, he could have walked all over me if he would have had the opportunity to. And so what bullying can do is it gives us the option to be stronger individuals for the victim and for the bully. And it really comes down to, look, we're all people at the end of the day. And I really believe most people want the best for everybody else. And those few that don't, they're harboring unto darkness that they may not be able to control on their own. They might need someone to take it out of them, one way or another. I'm not saying to beat it out of them, even though I know it can be gratifying seeing a bully fall down. It can. I'm not going to lie. It felt good watching him fall, but it felt even better watching him rise back up. Because bullies are already down on they're already down on their luck. That's the truth of the matter. The saying where people say, I feel sorry for such and such, sometimes that's a very true statement. Those are people in dark times and in dark places. And to not show them some sense of light or what it could feel like, I think we're taking away from our experience, and I think we're taking away from the individual who may be feeling the pain that they're feeling too. So go all out on people. Be strong for yourself. Stand up for yourself. But stand up for others as well. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you later.